Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A very good afternoon to all. Today I will be presenting my presentation on leadership style and job satisfaction, an empirical study or empirical survey among elementary school teachers in Malaysia. My names are Ibrahim Fat Suleiman. In this conference, in this my presentation, I have table of content, which is we have introduction. We have background of the study, objectives of the study, methodology, result, and conclusion. So looking at my introduction, of course, looking at job satisfaction and also leadership in Malaysian context is research has been done in different organization and also even in industries. So in terms of this research, we have looked into trying to look at job satisfactions among elementary school teachers, which is very vital because, looking at how they are being stressed sometimes in terms of their jobs, in terms of the scope of their jobs, in terms of their KPIs of annual KPIs that they are being requested to have. So this we wanted to look at their satisfaction towards their satisfactions in this study. Therefore, it is crucial to pay attention to the satisfaction in the educational context, especially among teachers, which is to build a successful educational institution. When we look at our institutions today, it is very important that a successful institutions is being carried along. Why? Because if the teachers are not being satisfied with what they are being given. Maybe, for example, we have some incentives, we have like promotions and so on and so forth. If they are not satisfied, this actually will impact on on students and on our on pupils, sometimes on students, and even on their academic performance to see. So in these studies, we have also proposed three types of leadership in terms of rectifying that issue of job satisfaction. We have looked into looking at um transactional leadership style. We have looked into transformational leadership style, and also looking at an Islamic leadership style, okay, in this study. So let us move quickly to the objective of this study. I have two objectives of this study, which is to evaluate the effective between from transformational leadership style and transactional leadership style, and lastly but not least, the Islamic leadership style, with the level of employee satisfaction among elementary school teachers in segment Johor. So this is the first one to evaluate that three types of leadership styles. The second objective of this research is to determine which of these three factors, transactional leadership style, and also transformational leadership style and Islamic leadership style, in significance in explaining the employee satisfaction among elementary school teachers. So looking at that, I have my methodology, which actually is more, looking at stratified methodology in terms of looking at the population of the staffs, which are 80, and the respondents are 66 are elementary school teachers, which are of course looking at the sample size according to Cressy and Morgan, is ought to be more than that, but sometimes we are being restricted to the response of the respondents from the sample size being being defined by Cressy and Morgan, or Boogie and Sikaran, for example, 2006, and so on and so forth. So it is up to the what we have gotten from the respondents. So we do not have anything to say about that. But this is what we have got. We have got 66 respondents. So in looking at the results, this research actually has used multiple regression analysis to answer those questions, because those research objectives are more on multiple regression analysis. So we looked into that to look at the the result in terms of the model summary. The model summary actually tells us about the accumulative result of all factors, which are the independent factors on the dependent factor. In this research, we have seen this R square, it is 0.831, which in terms of, percentage, it is 83.1, which is telling us that all these types of leadership styles involved, which is transactional leadership, transformational leadership, are, involving, impacting on, and Islamic, of course, Islamic leadership are impacting on job satisfaction of the school, teachers at, segment in Johor. So perhaps this result is very vital, telling us that it has, more than 50, percentage, in terms of percentage. However, we are going to look in terms of, that is in terms of percentage. But what about in terms of, is it significant statistically or it is not significant? We needed to have, of course, the threshold of p-value, looking at the p-value if it is less than 0.005 or 0.05 if it is less than that. So it is statistically significant. But to know that, we needed to look at the ANOVA table. The ANOVA table here tells us, we look at the last one here, which is the significance, it's less than 0.001, okay? What it tells us here actually, that the ANOVA table is telling us that is it significance, these three, independent variable to the dependent variable. So in this research, we have gotten that it is actually significant, meaning that when we look at 83.1%, it is actually significant in terms of, looking at the effect of those three, variables. We move on to the next one, which is very important, which is the second objective, determine the best factor among the three, factors towards employee job satisfaction in that school. We have found that we wanted to look at the individual effect or the individual impact on, on job satisfaction. The transformational leadership we have here, we needed to look at very important, which is the beta table here, and also looking at the significance, okay? We needed to look at the significance. Of course, we have our p-value if it is less than 0.05 in general, okay? That is the, threshold of the p-value. So in this aspect, we wanted to look at the transformational leadership. Here we look at the beta table, the standard coefficient, the beta table. We can see here it is 0.098, okay? Which is telling us that it is, non-significant, right? We can see which is non-significant at what? At, for example, we can see here, non-significant at 4.4228, okay? It is not significant. We can see that. Okay, we can see it is, meaning that it is more. Okay, in that aspect. Okay, in terms of individual. But when we look at transactional, what let us see, it's also 0.04. It is more, right? It is more than. Okay, let us see here. Also, it is non-significant. We can see. Okay, we can see that it is, more. Let us see here. It's minus 0.711. Okay, we can see here, meaning that it is non-significant. What about Islamic leadership style on that? The better, we have 0.08, 80. So all this, leadership style being proposed in this study, it is not significant in individual. Individually, they are not significant in predicting the job satisfaction among teachers in that school. But however, looking at the model summary here, we can see that in general they are significant, but in individually they are not significant, meaning that Islamic leadership, transactional leadership, and also transformational leadership styles are not significant. Okay, therefore, in conclusion, here we are concluding that in looking at the gap of course knowledge, that proposing these three leadership style, it is not a significant leadership style in terms of job satisfaction, because in the individual factors, we have seen that they are not significant. However, in general, they are significant in general, meaning that combining all the three types of leadership style, we have 83.1, which is very huge in terms of its significance with looking at the ANOVA table. So therefore, in this research, it is a contribution looking at contribution to the literatures. With that, this research has contributed to the existing literature, most especially on job performance. That among teachers that looking at this variables, or which are the independent variables, they are not individually contributors to job satisfaction. And I think this is a good contribution with this research. Okay, with this, I have come to the end of my presentation. Thank you and goodbye.